minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Let's rock. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into.
All right, welcome to the Great Minds Podcast. This is Derrick.
This is Vaughn.
And we're here with King James. What's going on, brother?
What's going on?
What's good, fellas, man? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. So King James, North Carolina MC, big time Carolina sports fan. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing, but we'll get into that.
It's a loyal thing.
Yeah, it's a loyal thing. And you know what I'm saying, a dope dad. So we always salute dope dads on our show. And people doing the right things, and you know, just being talented people, or you know, just celebrating great talent and great people. So we appreciate having you on, bro.
Word.
Hey, man, like I said, man, thanks for having me on, man. You know, just trying to do my thing, man. Trying to make my mark in the game and stuff, and you know, trying to make some good stuff.
Word. Yeah. All right, so let's get a little bit into your background as far as like a MC. Like, how would you say you got your start, things like that?
So I started rapping, man. Like, you know, my older brother, he was, you know, huge hip hop head, and I listened to basically what he listened to. He had a rhyme book, and he was a couple years older than me, so I would steal his rhyme book and take it with me to school and be like, "Yeah, I wrote this." So, yeah, that's how I got my start, man. But around about ninth grade, I started meeting people, and you know, we just freestyle, and we all was terrible, man, but we loved the music and we kept doing it. And by the time my senior year came around, man, we was ready to roll. So, you know, that's got my start.
No doubt. So I think people don't understand how big hip hop is in North Carolina. Like, I have roots in North Carolina, so I know. Like, shout out to Rayford, Fayetteville, all that. So I understand how it goes. So I think people don't understand. When they think of North Carolina, I don't think of it as being the South, though. That's the funny thing about it, because I'm used to going back down there so much that to me is not the South. Like, I think once you get to South Carolina, that's the South to me. Like, you know, but North Carolina is not like that. So how was the hip hop vibe and scene out there growing up? How can you say, how was it?
Man, growing up, you know, it wasn't as diverse as people might think. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, especially my formative years, you know, East Coast up top, that was king. You know, so we was listening to a lot of the same y'all probably was listening to. You know, and then, I mean, you know, Dudgeon family, they were buzzing, you know, Midwest with Bone Thugs. So, and, you know, Bun B out in Texas, UGK, excuse me, you know, but we kind of listen to everything, but, you know, still primarily that East Coast boom bap type stuff, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's crazy. Every time we, you know, we talk about people in the South, and, you know, obviously we from the New York area, like everything, we're a little bit more biased because, like, back in the day, everything that came on the radio was pretty much East Coast. You know what I'm saying? And what Vaughn says a lot is, like, when he travels North Carolina, it's like a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me, and no disrespect, but like when I think of North Carolina rap, not now, because there's some heavy spitters. Like, the first person that comes to my mind, P.D. Pablo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember like P.D. Pablo, and we didn't consider him a lyricist, but like we like some of his stuff to be at like a party to wild out with, you know what I'm saying? So who was some of the early influences in North Carolina that you got on board with?
The earliest North Carolina influence that I got on board with was absolutely Little Brother, man.
Little Brother,
all right. Okay. Yep.
That was around the time that was close to my senior year, you know, and they had just, I think they dropped the listening in either 03 or 04. Right. But Little Brother, when they hit the scene, you know, and just the way that they were embraced, you know, because I remember, like, you know, being on MySpace and just seeing stuff like, yo, Rob bigging these cats. I'm like, yo, Pete Rob bigging these cats up. And then, you know, they had a track with Lil Wayne that was on a mixtape. That was huge, man. You know, so absolutely Little Brother, man. They definitely changed the perception of Carolina. Because like y'all said, man, you know, we was a state known for P.D. Pablo, basically.
Yeah, right.
And
it's funny you say that. That's like the first time I started really respecting North Carolina rap. I'm like, who are these dudes? Like, they don't sound like North Carolina dudes. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing about North Carolina. So it's a lot of transplants there too. So a lot of people, a lot of military babies, a lot of stuff like that. So people come from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I remember being at work one day, and you know about RTP, for pharmaceuticals down there, like Raleigh, Durham, that area. It's like Derrick, it's like a spot in North Carolina where like everybody goes. Like it's all types of like research developments down there. So it's like a real big spot. So we had a company or building down there, and they would come up. We'll take turns. Like they'll come up north, and we'll go down south sometimes, right? So they came up north, and one of the dudes I was talking to, I was like, "Yo, you rocking with little brother?" And he's like, "Oh man," like he took it for granted. Like he was kind of like, "Yeah, they've been doing it." And I'm like, "Yo, but they nice though." This is like it's like 03, 04. This probably 02. No, I think it might have been 03, 03, 04. He was kind of like downplaying it a little bit. I'm like, yo, nah, you don't understand. Like, yo, they making a lot of noise. So it's always something you get love outside of your state, and then they appreciate you. And they even say that little brother does. But have you experienced that too? They did, and I noticed that too.
Absolutely, man. And it's, you know, we tend to take, you know, for granted the things that are within our reach, because it's like, yo, I always got access to this. You know, always looking externally for validations, like, all right, you know, the dope is out here, because it just seems bigger. Like when it's in your own backyard, you still kind of like, you know, look at it as local. And I think it was a skit where Sean Don was really talking about that. He was like, yeah, like we done did tours over in Japan, and cats still like, oh, you know, y'all local and stuff. And it's like, you know, that's basically the feeling that you get. Because I mean, shoot, you know, I don't have a lot of people that rock with me, but the people that do rock with me, they're not from around here. You know, like they definitely not from around here. So absolutely.
Right. I want to talk a little bit about the latest AP. I'll get to the one with JR. Like when I listen, I was just saying to Vaughn, like it sounds like, you know, 90s rap. Like I feel like we cling to that because that's what we grew up on. But like, you know, I truly feel like that's the best era of rap. Like I feel like I'm listening to like Q-Tip or Phife Dawg, or because you got the head nod flow. You know what I'm saying? Who was some of your early influences? Like rhyming, like y'all outside, I guess, like Little Brother.
Oh yeah, it's crazy because, like, you know, by the time Little Brother came along, like they really didn't influence me at all.
Exactly.
It was more of a mindset thing. It was like, yo, cats from here can do this,
right?
You know, for real. But I mean, my rapping influences, man, Big Pun, Big L, Elzon. You know, those are like that's the holy trinity that, you know, shaped my style and stuff, man. And you know, like you know, Big Pun, just the flow, man. Like that was a time where all my rap sounded like that. A lot of that stuff I couldn't even get through because I just didn't even have the breath control to get the first stuff, you know. And then Big L, he kind of like, you know, slowed it down, made it fly. But the wordplay is crazy, super witty. And then like Elzai, I feel like, you know, he brings all of that stuff together. Cause there ain't he's a complete MC, man. There ain't nothing he can't do. You know, like if I think of a perfect rapper, you know, in my mind, I'm gonna picture Elzai. So that's definitely my favorite rapper.
And you remember, real quick, Vaughn, remember I hit you yesterday. I was like, you know, give me the album. I ended up going with 8 times. What was it 8 times? That was it 8 times up, 7 times down, something like 7 times down, 8 times up. That joint is vicious, man.
Yeah, and see, and it's like, man, like a lot of cats don't realize how deep his discography goes, man. He got stuff going back to
got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I'm just starting. So that was the first one. Like that's a solid album, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to tapping back in.
Like I was tapping in with Elzai since Slum Village. Like even like I just liked that. And then Jay Dilla with his beats and stuff. So I always knew who he was. Like one of my favorite rappers is Royce, but he was one of my favorite rappers before like everyone started loving Royce. Like I was liking Royce when he had the little problems he had and he was going to jail and he was before the bar exams. I was saying like, yo, he's nice. I like him better than M. Everybody's like, you're bugging. I'm like, nah, trust me. I think if he gets his mind right, he could be there. But he's just dealing with some stuff. But and I think the thing that being in North Carolina, which I think is a plus, I always say this, like Derrick stated, you get a lot of different sounds. So you're hearing, like you said, the Bone Thugs, in the Midwest. I remember, like, my palette has always been like that as far as for music. So I would listen to all types of stuff, and people, like some of my friends won't even listen to it. They're like, "Yo, what are you listening to?" I'm like, "Yo, you need to check out Bone Thugs and Harmony. Yo, you need to go check out whatever, like from UGK or Lil Troy." Like, I would listen to that stuff, and I would go like, "Yo, it's a
Lil Troy. Oh man,
yeah, like, yeah, like I would listen to it because I would go to different places and I would hear it and the reaction that people would give it. So I would go, yo, if everyone's going crazy over this song, why am I not hearing it back up top? Like, what's going on? So I should listen to it and I would get the album and then hear it. And then I have friends saying in North Carolina that would put me on stuff I didn't know. Like when I first heard the Ice Cream Man from Master P, it wasn't up here. It was down south. And someone told me like, yo, this is the next guy coming. I was like, I'm into the other stuff, but he was getting play. You know what I'm saying? And then like, yo, it's kind of being in North Carolina, I think, or being away from up north. I'll be biased. Being away from up north, from the tri-state area, your palate is a lot better. I think up here we're just too biased with certain things, and now we try to chase Atlanta. We try to chase these different sounds, chase Houston. You know what I'm saying? All A$AP Rocky is doing Houston rap. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to it, like, you know what I mean?
And that was the crazy thing about Little Brother popping when they popped, because, you know, that was the time where like the sound was shifting to a more Southern sound. Because like it was around the time where like, you know, D4L was popular.
Yeah.
And with the movement and Laffy Taffy and stuff. And that's what a lot of cats in my area was gravitating towards. So, you know, definitely like Little Brother, they were an outlier, you know, even though they were like the most formative group in North Carolina, like a lot of cats really wasn't rocking with them. You know, so they had to go somewhere else to get love. It was crazy.
Yo, I think D4L did the best thing for hip hop ever. People like to diss them, but I say, nah, they made you pick a lane, right? So it had more variety of music. I think of music like cars, right? Everyone can't be a Maybach, right? You need some Ford Tauruses, you need some Honda Civic. You know, you can't have that. So when D4L came out with the Laffy Taffy, people were dissing it. I was like, yo, it's catchy. They doing something, and they had to bring the whole ringtone era rap. So come on, Mike Jones, people like that was coming out. But you still have real spitters, but you were able to pick and choose what you wanted to find. So I think they're probably the best thing that happened in that little generation to help separate stuff.
They definitely get a lot of flack, man. But I think the biggest problem with it was just like, you know, people don't respect rap as art. So if anytime you got black people and they rhyming over a beat, it's like, yo, this is rap. And I feel like a lot of these cats created a whole different genre, right? You know, to where if it was properly categorized, you know, you wouldn't have the comparison, because it's crazy for somebody to compare, you know, Young Thug to Pac. It's disrespectful. It is. Yeah. You know, like they don't do the same things. You know what I'm saying? The only thing they got in common is that they black and they rhyming over beats. That's it. The music is totally different, man. If it was rock and roll or something, you know, you got power rock, you got soft rock, you got death metal, you got heavy metal. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they appreciate it as art, they gonna make sure it's like, yo, we gonna properly categorize this stuff so we know what we getting into. And nowadays with rap, it's like a dice roll, man. Like, you don't know what it's gonna sound like. It can sound like anything.
Right. So when you rap, what's your reason to rap?
Man, I basically just it's kind of like therapy for me, man.
Mm-hmm. I say the same thing.
Like, you know, I go through ebbs and flows, man. It's like, you know, stuff happens in my life, you know, and it doesn't have to be anything big. Like, you know, I might hear might be in a grocery store and hear something like, yo, that tune kind of dope. And I just start thinking about bars and stuff, and I get inside, you know, but like life events, you know, just how I'm feeling at the moment, it's like I have it pent up inside of me. I got to get it out. You know what I'm saying? So that's really my main rap, you know. I want to be respected for it. I want to make some money off of it, but I'm never going to leave it alone, man, because I love it too much. You know, I'm a fan first, so.
Right.
Yeah. So speaking, you got something to say? Add on to that there?
No, I was going to say, I agree with that. Like you have to, like whenever I do music for myself first, you know what I'm saying? And then if people rock with it, that's tremendous, but I feel good making it. So.
Yeah. I'm my own litmus test. Like,
right.
You know, I'm putting anything out that I don't like myself. You know,
Right.
so I feel like if I put it out, I'm like, yo, I know it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's cool if other people acknowledge it as dope. But like, I'm really not looking for external validation because I know what I am. I know what I can do. I'm listening to other cats too, and it's like, nah, man.
This ain't it.
Yeah, like I'm not looking for validation from a lot of y'all, man. Like it's nah.
I got you. I was gonna add, you know, it seems like it's been an influx, right? Of I would say the working class rapper, right? To where, you know, it's people that they have their nine to do what they gotta do, but they still spit, right? So do you think, I think the internet made that accessible, made it easier to do, because back in the day, really, you had to go get your studio time. You really couldn't do both, right? Or you could try to do both, but it was a little tough. So how do you think the internet has helped you in your career thus far?
Man, I love it, man. Like you said, you hit the nail on the head, man. It absolutely made it, you know, possible for cats to have a 9 to 5. You know, you got cats out here. Sometimes I work 80 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? And then I got a wife and a daughter. I ain't got time to be driving to the studio and then pay, you know, $50 to $100 an hour, you know, at the studio. Like with the internet, man, it made it so that like you can create from the confines of your own home. I could put my daughter to sleep, go in a room and knock out a 16 real quick.
Right.
You know, where before the internet, it wasn't possible. Right. And then, you know, you had a lot of cats back in the day making dope stuff, and you had to go to the radio to try to get people to hear it
on. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, they not just like you gotta pay the toll.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of always been the dirty secret in rap. It's like there's never been a meritocracy. It's always kind of been like, yo, you know, you gotta have, you know, somebody to give you a cosign, or you gotta have some resources to pay a cat to spin the record. And then people hear it, it's like, this is dope. And but that initial push, man, I feel like it's always been paid over, you know. So with the internet, I don't need nobody else. I can just put my shit out and let people. I'm sorry, do y'all allow Chris?
Now you get. Okay.
My voice. I can put my shit out, man, and you know, and people here is like, yo, this is dope, you know. So it removed a lot of the barriers, you know, that existed, you know, in terms of creation of music and also putting music out. And that's a good and a bad thing, because, you know, you got some cats, their skills are subpar, they polluting the space, you know. So now a lot got to wade through a lot of trash, you know, to find the gems. But I mean, it's not that hard, man. It's absolutely the era of music. Like you have the whole of music, you know, in your phone. You just go through and download somebody's whole entire discography of stuff. And it's like back in the day, you know. And I think I seen you tweeting about it earlier, talking about you know, buying an album and stuff. Like cats don't understand, like you had to budget out time and money to go get an album, and then you didn't know what was on it outside of the 2 singles. You know what I'm saying? So it was a
wait online for it.
It was a crapshoot.
Yeah, and then you know what I'm saying? You know, you had to live with that because you just didn't have, you know, $10 to just, all right, man, what's the next? So if you bought a joint that was, you know, it didn't grab you at first, you live with it a little bit, because that might be the only new album that you got. You really go listen.
Yeah, for the month.
For real. Yeah, I tell people this story about the first time I heard Nelly's Country Grammar, right? Mm-hmm. So I went to the movies with this female, and she's like, she was driving. So I was down south too. It was down south. She throws it on. I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to hear this Nelly album. I told her, like, yo, please take this out. She's like, nah, it's all right. I'm like, whatever. So we going to the movies. I hear 1 hit. I'm like, all right, hit 2 hits. Damn. All right, 3. So I'm hearing like 4, 5, 6. I'm hearing singles, right? I'm like, damn. I'm like, I see why people loving this album, right? So that made me like open up my eye, like, yo, you can't judge a book by its cover, because like I never would have bought the album. I never did buy the album, first of all, but I never would have listened to the album. I ain't gonna front. I never would have listened to the album based on what I was hearing. But even if you hear the Country Grammar song, it's a hood song, what he's saying. He's just singing it in a lullaby type of form. But people don't listen to the words, what he's saying.
Bro,
it's all about the melody with him.
That's the most melodic drive-by music I ever heard in my life. Like, yo, like, bro, hey, man, he talking about letting them go. He playing Grand Theft Auto, man. Like, you know, like you said, the same. They like, yo, okay, I like this. And still to this day, a lot of people really don't know what he was talking about. You know, they don't know they were singing about a drive-by.
Yeah, right? They don't know that. It's crazy.
Back to like the whole hip hop Twitter, right? like you said, I mean, we follow the same people pretty much. Everybody's on it, but like the crazy thing about Twitter is like you literally can build a fan base like quickly. Like it starts with like 3 people, and then it starts with a retweet. But another good point you made, like you got to go through the traffic, because you know they don't listen to 3 people that was whack, and now you presenting this. You might not even get a shot. They going back to catch the new Benny the Butcher or old Benny the Butcher, or you know what I'm saying. But like you said, you got it right on right at your hand, and it's and it takes a retweet from somebody, you know what I'm saying, people with time, and there are people that legitimately want to listen to real hip hop. So I think hip hop's in a great place right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. And you know, it's more convenient for, you know, cats that was going to get on anyway too. You know,
yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, because it's like, you know, you got, you know, cats on, you know, on our level or whatever. Not talking about skill, but just, you know, where we are at, you know, career wise. But then, you know, you got cats like Ransom that just record like demons, and you know, they just pumping them out. So you got to compete with that. Plus, you got to compete with your peers. And it's only like me. I work 12 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? I sleep 8 hours a day. Realistically, I got 4 hours. You know, and I haven't eaten. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I ain't chill with my daughter, chill with my wife. So really, like, the only time I'm listening to music is on my commute. That's really when I can just like listen to music, you know, unbothered. So yeah, and then my commute's only 40 minutes. So I got like, you know, I got 40 minutes a day realistically to listen to music. So I don't have a lot of time. And sometimes I'm not trying to, you know, it's almost like when you're hungry, you're not gonna take a chance on a new cuisine when you're hungry. You can go to your tried and true. It's like I hate ordering food. It's like I don't even want it no more.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I just go to what I know is dope and I just listen to that.
Yeah, and that's one thing I want to say. Something you said there, I was thinking when you said real hip hop. I'm trying to get out of saying real hip hop, the phrase of saying that, because it's subjective, right? Yeah. So I could say like, yo, what's real hip hop to me could be, yo, I like from Pac to whatever, right? Though like that, that's to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a kid can come out now be like, yo, real hip hop to me is it's Young Thug, Kodak Black right now. That's their real hip hop, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
So I try not to say that, because I think sometimes like as we say stuff like that, it kind of shades the younger generation, right? Yeah. Even though we're not doing it on purpose, it's kind of like comes across as like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's why I think that the problem with hip hop is that, you know how it's like a passing of the guard? Yeah. Like you see in different things. Hip hop never had that. So basically what it is that like, yo, when you can't make me any money, I'm kicking you to the curb and bringing this young guy in. Right. So that right there builds animosity from the rip. So like if you think Kumo D couldn't rap, right? Kumo D probably still rap, but all of a sudden, like, yo, you making the money for us. All right, who's next up? Now Kumo D's like, yo, I'm still nice. Like, what you mean? So that builds the generational, you know, beef. You know what I'm saying? Which is what we see today. So I always think about how we can tap into that, and like you see a few rappers doing it though. Like they'll bring in a older rapper or vice versa, which is dope, but it doesn't have to be forced though. So how you feel about like the collabos, like as far as like young and old? It has to make sense though. It has to make sense.
Like a lot of times, man, and this is just me personally, you know, I feel like it is forced. I don't feel like it's organic. Like I don't feel like it's, you know, like, all right, man, you know, you got Nas sitting back and he listening, you know, like he listening to Hit Boy beats and it's like, yo, I gotta do an album with him. I could be wrong. This is just my feeling, you know. So if it's organic, you know what I'm saying, then cool, you know, because it is kind of like, I mean, to get a feature from Nas, I don't care if you didn't listen to Nas. Nas is like one of those cats where even if you haven't heard a Nas album, you know who Nas is.
Absolutely.
You know what he represents to the culture. So, you know, if you know, you a 19 or 20-year-old, you know what I'm saying, and you doing your thing and you get popping real quick, you get a feature from Nas, it's still going to carry a lot of weight, even though they not like, oh my God, man, I remember when, you know, It Was Written, the Illmatic came out, you know, so like it still carries a lot of weight, but I just feel like it needs to be natural, man, because, you know, Rakim said it best, man. You know, he said classic, because age don't count in the booth when your flow stays submerged in the fountain of youth. And like it's a verbal sport. You know what I'm saying? Like my body ain't what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? But my mind is still as sharp as ever, maybe even sharper. So my wit is sharper, my bars are sharper. Yeah. You know, but at the same time, I feel like, you know, the legends, you know, need to be legends. It's like in rock and roll, they're not asking Aerosmith to do features. They allow Aerosmith to be legend. And it's like in rap, we still want our legends to compete. Nas ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. Jay ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like they done put in the work. It's time for these people to be exalted to a level where it's like, yo, you shouldn't be questioning if they pins. Who cares, yo?
Yeah, it don't matter.
and that's why I say I don't care. I don't know if you heard the show. I say I don't care if I hear another Hove album. I don't need to hear it. Like I don't need to hear a Hove album because I already know what it is. People think like, oh, you dissing? Like I'm not dissing Hove. You one of my favorite rappers of all time. I just don't need to hear another album from him. He has nothing to prove to me. Like, so what's the or to anybody? Not just me, but to anybody. So I will never bother. I haven't bought a Hove album in years. And people are like, wow, I'm like, yo, because I don't need to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
you certified. There ain't nothing else that he can do. You know what I'm saying? It's like when a boxer fights too long, yeah. You know they need to hang up, and then they end up tarnishing their record and stuff. And it's like, yo, like you know what I'm saying? You done held all the belts.
Yo, King James, like everything I've been saying for the past 10, 15 years. Yo. I'm saying the same thing.
Bro,
and before we move on, you talk about fit, right? So I saw with the Nas and Hit Boy, I didn't have a problem with because I feel like Hit Boy is still seasoned. Like he's not like like a new producer, so I didn't have an issue with that. But I feel like the Little Durk is forced, right?
Yeah.
Now if he wanted to do something with a younger cat and he went with Cordae, that would make sense. Because
but who put the Durk together?
Khaled, right? I'm talking about on Nas's album.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So like I feel like if you're gonna dig back, I think you got to dig back with somebody that fit. Like I'm not saying Corday's nice like Nas, but he
Rom style.
You can argue topics. Topics like that. So yeah, I definitely feel you on that. All right.
Before we jump real quick, the best to me, the best pull back from old generation to new was Outkast and Slick Rick, the art of storytelling. That right there was to me 1 and 2 was it. Like you can see like, yo, it's not reaching. You're doing the same type of thing and it flowed right, so it didn't feel rushed. And that was like what, like 98? like when
that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even remember when it was.
Yeah. I like Dave East and Nas too. Styles.
I
thought that was
had the whole album though. That was totally different. Like, you could tell that was like it was dope to that was dope. I was talking about just one song, but a good project.
Right. All right, so Hornets Panthers, how you feeling?
Oh man.
And I told you how I felt about the Hornets, but I'll let you speak first.
Man, the Panthers, you know, like honestly, man, I just let go and gave it up to God, man.
Let go, let God.
Bro, you don't understand, man. Like man, we had Cam, we had Luke. Like we were on top. I always felt like as long as we got Cam on offense and we got Luke on defense,
we all right.
Competitive. And then it's just like to see, like we fumbled the bag, man. Like, you know, I really thought we was gonna win that Super Bowl, man. And you know, because I remember when we played in the Super Bowl, that was 2004.
With Jake Malone and Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Bro, I was an anti Scott B in my bed, like, yo. Like we about to be Super Bowl champs, and it didn't happen, you know. So to wait that long to just to get back to that point, and then to watch basically your management say, "Yo, we just gonna punt away our best players." They systematically got rid of all of our best players, like whether it was just not re-signing them and letting them walk to opponents and stuff, and you know, so like where I am now, and I'm not a spoiled fan. I know that every franchise ain't gonna be dope every year. Right. I'm like, if my team is competitive, they could be 8-8, 7-9. If those losses are competitive losses, I'm happy.
Good, yeah.
I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's stressful, man. It's really stressful, man. I swear.
This is what I take with the Cam thing. I think I think Cam is type of personality and the type of figure, right? He's huge in life, right? So he commands a lot. So when he is not performing like that, then it becomes a distraction. You know what I'm saying? In the locker room part. Like, cause it's like, yo, Cam is Cam. He is what it is. Like, you know, we know what he is. He's great. But he took a lot of hits, body started declining a little bit, and it wasn't like evening out. Like the cost to have Cam and to keep on losing. It's like, yo, we gotta do something. Now they didn't handle it right. I'm not saying they handled it right, but they gotta do something. I think that's probably the thing. I think what we fall in love with, like we love Cam, but we love the old Cam. So when we see Cam as Cam once was, right? Not what he is, right now, because he's such a huge personality. Like we love him. So I think sometimes it jays the fans, us, everybody. But I think the organization, they handled some things wrong when Luke retired because of the concut. Like that was kind of like sudden. They couldn't expect that. But you know, I think when you lose, like you said, high profile guys like that, you're gonna take a hit. Like, it's gonna take a while to come back. You know.
And the thing with Cam that pissed me off the most was because it's a lot with black players. Mm-hmm. It's like they want you to be elite and carry the whole damn team. They go out and get you help. Cause like we see with like Baker Mayfield, bro. Like go ask Cleveland Brown fans what they think about Baker. They would die for Baker Mayfield. This man had been to the playoffs one time and didn't perform that well. And look at the weapons he got. They're like, yo, we're gonna go get you Jarvis Landry. All right, we're gonna go get you Odell Beckham Jr. All right, we're gonna go get you Kareem Hunt.
And Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb, you know what I'm saying? And Carolina's like, hey, yo, man, we got you Ted Ginn. You know, it's like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, you know, like they really didn't. We shot ourselves in the foot not getting that man help. And then I understand that he was in decline, but it's like you don't let Cam go. And then you go sign Teddy Bridgewater to that big contract.
Right. Yeah. Why? No, because Teddy Bridgewater is like a good, easy to control. I don't want to say, I hate to use those words, but he's going to go by the book and do what he got to do.
Steady Teddy.
You know what I mean? They're like, yeah.
And Cam wants to smoke and do his other stuff, and like Teddy Bridgewater, he gonna play it safe. But you know, I'm like, yo, win games. If you win football games, everything else will fall into place.
Yeah, I think the thing with Cam and guys like Vic and guys like that, they're so tremendous athletically that sometimes they think they could, like you said, they could carry everybody. So they're like, you know what? We don't need Cam to get him receivers because he could just run people over. Or we don't need a good running back because we could just give it to him on the goal line. You know what I'm saying?
The crazy thing about that is no team I can remember has ever won like that, right? You see what's going on with Lamar Jackson. Everybody's coming at him like, yo, all right, get him help. Like he has certain deficiencies. We know that. But everyone does. Let's not highlight the bad things that he's doing. It's about what the good things he's doing, but he can't run all the time. I don't care who you are. You can't run all the time because you're fast.
They're trying to help Lamar at least, though.
They're trying. But Cam, they was like, yo, you've been doing this for so long. You can do it a couple
more. You can do it again. Exactly.
I'll name you the receivers we had, like
Musha Muhammad, right?
Burton Burson, Keola Flores,
Kelvin Benjamin.
Bro, and look, and as bad as Kelvin was, I was ecstatic when we got him. So I'm like, yo, at least they trying.
Right.
You know, I'm like, at least they trying. I don't care if you get to the league and he don't pan out, which he didn't. That at least showed me that they were trying, man. Because before that, it was like, yo, let me go to the dollar store and just find me a receiver that's gonna make the roster, you know, and see what happens. I'm like, come on, man.
Crazy. How about those Hornets, man?
Let me have that. I actually like the Hornets, right? And I said to you, right? I think what they need to do, and I know what you were saying about nobody's going to sign with the Hornets, but I think obviously I would make everybody available besides Bridges and Ball, because I feel like y'all have a lot of similar players too, right? Mm-hmm. You got like Monk, you got Terry Rozier, a lot of those guys. So what I would do is I would find a star that had like 2 or 3 years left on his contract, and I would package those guys. Now you don't want to get a guy with 1 year left because he's going to bail after the year. But I think before y'all have to make decisions to pay some of those guys, I think you need to package a PJ Washington with a Rozier or a Monk or something like that and try to get a star, because y'all got a lot of players, man. And then Graham is nice too.
He is, but I got a master plan. Yeah? So it's pretty much what you said. But we get one player and then we get one executive. So like you said, the only players on our team that are untouchable are Bridges and Ball. Maybe PJ Washington. Outside of that, everybody else can go. Right. I'm looking at the Clippers. You know, the Clippers, they maxed Paul George.
Right.
Kawhi's going to be a free agent this summer. If they don't win, he's gone. You know? And that basically means a rebuild, because unfortunately, injuries are taking a toll on Paul George, and he's not Indiana Paul George. You know what I'm saying? So, but for a team like the Hornets, we like he's a legit bona fide number one guy.
Oh, for sure.
So if we had a core of like Paul George, LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, we can at least be competitive and make the playoffs. And that's what's going to define success for us. Because we're not, unless we strike gold and take the coldest niggas in the draft, we're not going to be competing for no championship anytime soon. So just making the playoffs will be enough. So what I would do is I would package all of those players and whatever draft pick to try to get Paul George, man, and bring him to Charlotte.
So we on the same page then.
Now we are. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it a little bit earlier on. But the executive that we need to get is Usai Majiri from Toronto.
From Toronto.
Yeah. I mean, is Mike gonna pay him now? Mike don't want to pay nobody.
Bro, he better pay that, man. like if you have him, like, dog, well, what they've been able to do with players that, you know, didn't come from the draft, it's insane, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, man,
he got that NBA Africa connection. He be out there. He know what it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like his eye for talent. Because it's like, and you think about it now, like with COVID and the college ranks, I feel like these college kids, it's probably gonna be some of the weakest crops of players to ever, you know, come into the league, and they just ain't been playing. You know what I'm saying? They haven't had the same level of practices and gameplay to learn. You know, so I feel like, you know, first round drafts for the next couple of years are really not gonna mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? So hey, if you a team like the Hornets, package them joints up. You know what I'm saying? Package them up quick. Throw in a couple players. Yeah, we'll take Paul George's contract.
Yeah, because all they have to do, like Charlotte it's a smaller market, but it's a good market. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a real good market, so you can sell that to somebody, especially as things are boosting, bumping up there, like things are happening. So, what was your first thought of LaMelo Ball? Right. So, I'll tell you my first thought, just the balls in general. I thought that the dad was writing them a check their ass couldn't cash. I was like, because now you put more pressure on the kids, right? I was saying, so now you talking about like Lonzo, we knew he could ball at UCLA, but not everybody want to bust him. Not everybody want to wait for him to come to the league. And to me, for his personality, that wasn't good for him. Like he needed to just come in quietly, work his way in, and do his thing. So like you see now he's flourishing, he's doing good now. LaMelo, I looked and I was watching what he was doing. I was like, yo, he's gonna be the best one. And I can just tell like where he was playing, but I'm like, who's he playing against? Like, what's he really doing? So when he came to the league, I was like, let me just sit back and watch. And then I saw the first game, I was like, okay. And he was like 6'7".
Yeah, man.
All right. I was like, okay. And the way he was playing, like, I'm like, okay. So what was your first thoughts when y'all found you got him?
I thank the Lord, man. Because you could already hear the chatter was like, yo, man, like, don't take LaMelo. I was like, bro, turn your brain off, take LaMelo if he's there. Right. Like, you don't need to do any kind of, you know, analysis. Turn your brain off. God knew LaMelo was the goods, man. Like, when you look at his game, he's elite at the things that you can't teach. You know what I'm saying? Like, intangibles. Yeah, like he understands the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, because in basketball, everybody think it's about plays. Like, coaches they call them plays off for like timeouts and stuff. But for the most part, you got players on the floor that just know where to be and they figure it out. Because the plays is for the niggas that can't. They don't know where to be, so you got to tell them, yo, be right here. Melo's the cat. He know where he's supposed to be. He know where everybody else is supposed to be. So I'm like, man, and then with the size, there ain't point guards don't really come at that size. Right. You know, so once he gets into the weight room and gets his NBA body, nobody's going to be able to handle him. You know what I'm saying?
Especially in about 2 years, it'd be over.
He plays hard, man. He loves the game. You know, like I was, bro, it was the happiest that I've been for a Hornets draft pick that I can ever remember. Maybe, definitely since Kemba. And I really wasn't even that hype on Kemba, but I was happy. But like,
well, you know what Michael Jordan loves to do? He loves to draft like the 3-year college player. He likes to draft like, you know, the guys that have like the experience, like Adam Morrison, like Michael Gilchrist. I mean, Gilchrist is a Jersey guy. I root for him to the core. But you gotta watch him and play and know he's and you gotta know he's a role player. You seen that in Kentucky,
bro?
Like, he's 6'7".
We could have had Bradley Beal.
Yep.
We could have had Bradley Beal, man. Like, yo, we gonna take MKG. And I'm like, man, I don't like. Michael Jordan should have no input on draft picks whatsoever. Yeah, he's banned from the draft process in its entirety.
But you know what it is too, to Derrick, to your point, and he gets it from UNC. So Mike has to learn. I think he's learning now.
Right.
But to take himself out of that and understand that, all right, that 3-4 year player might not be the dude. It's this 1 year player here. Like he has to see that because he's thinking like experience, right? Like you would think like you got more experience. You play against top-notch talent. I'm picking you before I pick a guy that went overseas and played for some other team and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of get why he thought that, but I'm glad he took Melo though. He needed that.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense for him to gravitate towards players that's been in college longer because he played under a legendary coach, Dean Smith.
Right.
So Dean Smith probably really actually taught him a lot about basketball. But a lot of these kids that's coming into college now, they're not learning how to play basketball. It's an exhibition. It's like, hey, yo, NBA, this is what I can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they basically just trying to figure out the pecking order where cats going to get drafted at. They know they done played so much basketball. It's like, yo, now we just going to the next level and get to the next level of competition to see the train ride to the top. And then, you know, we gonna take, you know, the top cats. That's all it is. They're not learning. Everybody knows how to play ball at that level. Now, if you're still trying to figure out how to play basketball in college, you ain't going to the league, bro. You better already know what to do. You're not even gonna get on the floor. Like look at Kentucky, man. Like Calipari's squad, bro. Eric Bledsoe. This cat couldn't even get on the floor in college. You know what I'm saying? He was a lottery pick. So you have teams that are that loaded, like, bro, you ain't got time to be learning on a job. You already got to know what you're supposed to do.
Right. All right. Before we move to rapid fire, a quick question for you. What's your NBA Finals prediction and who you got winning it?
NBA Finals prediction. Of course, out west, I got LA, the Lakers. I got the Lakers. And then in the East, I'm going Philly, man. I'm going Philly. Like, you know, I know the popular pick is the Nets, but just looking at that game versus the Wizards, the Nets are playing the Wizards, right?
Nah, Nets playing Boston.
Boston.
Oh, yeah. My fault. Nets are playing Boston because Robert Williams went crazy. The fact that Robert Williams can go crazy like that, Joel Embiid is gonna be like Godzilla on that court, bro.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be the Eastern Conference Finals matchup. You know, so I definitely got Philly coming out of the East, and then I got LA taking it all as long as they're healthy. If LA is healthy, I don't see a team beating them in a 7-game series. Like, you know, I think Philly's trending in the right direction, but they're still not ready, man. And I'm not as high on the Nets as a lot of other people are.
Gotcha. All
right, no doubt.
All right, so we're gonna go to our rapid fire section. Hit you with a couple questions and see what you got.
Something like though, nothing too crazy.
All right. I'm gonna ask you this, and I'm gonna give a couple of my own too. What's a rapper that you don't like but everybody else does?
A rapper that I don't like?
Now you don't have to think the person is whack, but you just kind of like, or you could think they whack, whatever.
No, I definitely don't think they're whack, man. But bro, I got a name for you, and look.
Go for it.
It's like that scene on I think it was Gladiator when he just like put his arms up and all the arrows coming at him. You know?
Yeah.
Ready to take the hit?
Yeah, man. Like, bro, I'm gonna say Scarface, man. Scarface. Like,
yo,
definitely get that he's a legend and he's made some songs that I've liked. But I mean, for me, it just never really resonated to me. Like, because Cats put Face in the top 5, you know.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, I'm like, nah, I don't think, just me, I don't think Scarface is top 5. And I already know, like, yo, who's this guy? You know, cat from Carolina, don't know what he's talking about. Whatever.
Nah, that's cool. Nah,
that's all right. That's why music is subjective, man. Like, people got everybody's opinion. Like, I can like somebody, you can say, yo, they trash. This is how it is, man.
Yeah, and the one thing I will say, I do listen. I don't give opinions on cats that I don't listen to.
Right.
If I don't listen, like, I don't listen to them. You know, so I do listen. You know.
All right.
I think for me, I got a couple. I got Rock Marciano. And I'm just kind of like, I listen. I don't think he's whack, but I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get. Do you agree or I'm wilding?
No, I agree.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, and I see it from Twitter. Like, you see people talking like it's like goat talk to some people. And my other one was talking about this MF Doom. I respect anybody that has that type of cult following. You gotta respect it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's got a lot more of a following than a normal cat. So I respect that. And I heard it, and I don't think it's whack, but I don't need it like at all.
Yeah, it's like, and a lot of people, man, like, they gonna say names, but they're not listening to these cats, you know, on their day-to-day lives. And I feel like if you say somebody is a GOAT or they in your top 5, you should be listening to them every day. That's like real.
Everything they put out.
I'm telling you, man, like, there hasn't been a day that's gone by where I have not listened to, like, yo, I listen to Big L Flamboyant every fucking day.
Wow.
Every day. Like, I still, man, that drink Still Here, the remix with C-Town off of Lyricist Lounge Volume 2. I listen to that shit every fuck. Like, I got a playlist of shit that I have to hear, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, them my guys. You know, so you got cats like, yo, man, this person is my GOAT. All right, man, run down some of the quotables.
I can't.
Fuck out here, man. I don't want to hear it. And I understand Rock Marciano, man, because it's like he got that abstract style, and it's just not me, you know. So, like, man, Big Pun, Big L, Elza, clean, precise bars. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing abstract about them dudes. So if those are my formative MCs, it only makes sense for me not to be, you know, super high on a cat that raps like Rock Marciano.
Right.
It's just not for me. You know what I'm saying?
All
right. What was the first hip hop song that you memorized?
The first hip hop song that I memorized. Damn. Hip hop song that I memorized?
Yeah, hip hop.
Whew. I can't even recall, bro. Like, I honestly, man, I really can't. And I remember a lot of shit. It probably was some Bone Thugs, man. Because I remember I used to like the cool thing was to be able to spit because nobody knew what they were saying, and you would like stop and write the words down and rewind and stop the tape. So, because I think it was off East 1999, man. Like maybe like Thuggish Ruggish Bone or something.
Thuggish Ruggish Bone.
Yeah, maybe, but honestly, I really don't recall, man. I know a lot of cats be like, yo, man, I remember like the messages. It's never been like that for me. You know, I just consume it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
True, no doubt.
All right, favorite MC from North Carolina, not named JR or Fonte.
Not named JR or Fonte.
Come on, you thought I'm gonna give you a layup?
That's definitely where I was going, man.
Yeah, of course.
Not named JR or Fonte. And I was talking to some people about this song. Not JR or Fonte.
That's the exact reaction I needed. I wasn't giving you a layup.
See, man, I have a name, you know what I'm saying, but I haven't ran this project in a long time. Cause I mean, they're really in a lot of cats. It's not Cole. It's not Cole. I do rock with Cole. You know, I'm not one of those Cole bashers. I know what he could do.
Right.
Probably it's a cat. He used to be called King Mez. He's called Mez now. Just goes by the name of Mez. And he actually produced I think he shot the video for J. Cole's I think it's My Life with 21 Savage.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's doing that stuff, and you know he's been he wrote a lot of stuff for Dr. Dre. I think he wrote some stuff for Anderson .Paak maybe. But cat out of Raleigh, man, he was super dope. He was super dope. But I haven't ran the project back in a long time. If it's not him, it would probably be Rhapsody.
Rhapsody.
I
was actually gonna say J.R. Fonte or Rhapsody, but I wanted to leave you some wiggle room.
Yeah. All right, this is kind of an open-ended one, but you got unlimited budget, right? Limited budget, 24 hours to do a 10 song LP. Who would you want to have on it? Unlimited budget, production, anything you want.
See, production. All right, I definitely got to get some Alchemists. Probably throw in a Large Pro. And see, I would say DJ Premier, man, but his recent beats ain't really been hitting like that for me. Ever since that first Prime album he dropped with Royce, ever since then it's kind of been like a decline. So I'll leave him off. But it's some cats you never heard of, man. SoundCloud dude, I don't know if he's still around. This cat came in, he's Space Kid from Russia. He made some of the dopest shit I ever heard in my life. Mr. Carmack. I hope I don't say his name wrong. It's a cat named I think it's Tech Moon out of Baltimore. It's a lot of cats, man, in terms of production.
Yeah.
But rappers,
Yep.
Unlimited budget, man. I definitely got to get Royce on the joint. I definitely got to get Elzai. This bucket list stuff, man. Like before I leave, I really want to do a song with Elzai. So I have Elzai, Royce. I have Bahamadia. That song, you know how we do. Just her voice, man. Like for real. Like I'm telling you, I listen to that song. Yeah, like bro, her voice is just like, oh my god, man. It sounds so good. That's 3, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I'm not a feature heavy guy. So one more, unlimited budget. It's crazy.
You could even tap on. Yeah, you could even tap into different genres if you want. Like you can, you want to sing on.
Oh, different genres.
Yeah, you can tap anybody. Okay, yeah, Layla Hathaway. Yeah.
Bro, I think she's one of the greatest singers to ever. She can sing chords, bro. She can sing 2 notes at one time. I don't even know how that's possible. Like, she's insane to me, man. And she had a song with Anderson .Paak that was insane. She just scatting on the joint.
It's in the genes, man.
Yeah, man.
Genes.
Good genes, very good genes.
For real.
Can we do people that are dead?
Yeah.
Ooh, boy. All right, man. Huge Michael Jackson fan, bro. Huge Michael Jackson fan. Like, if I could just do a song, I don't even know what it sounds like, but if I could get Michael Jackson on a song,
wouldn't even matter.
You already won.
Can't take no shit, bro. Like, man, when he passed, that shit, I really cried, man. Like when he died, it was crazy, man. So
yeah,
that's really how I fell in love with music, yeah.
Michael Jackson.
I can remember being maybe like 2-3 years old watching the Leave Me Alone video. Grandma, like just reciting the words and stuff, man. So yeah, definitely him.
No doubt.
True. All right, my last one. One's Gotta Go, right? You can't. Their whole catalog, all their verses, your memory of them gone. Like you can't hear it again.
Never existed.
Big L, Big Pun. One's Gotta Go.
Damn.
That's a gut punch on the way out. Let's go.
Oh, I'm gonna take another swig, man.
One's gotta go. So you say the other person's name. You like who?
Both going too soon too.
Right.
Yeah. I was gonna say, man, the thing about it is like neither one of their catalogs are like that huge. Because unfortunately they weren't around for a long time.
All right.
But
But that makes it fair then. Let's go.
that's rough, man. I'm gonna have to say Big L, man. Because like when I play Capital Punishment, I don't touch it. I just let it run.
Yeah.
You know, like when I listen to Big L, you know, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, I do tend to skip around a little bit. I don't touch Capital. So I'm definitely gonna have to say Big L, but that's rough. That's super rough, man.
That's a hurtful. Yeah. That's a hurtful question.
Yeah, like, that hurt me to my core, man.
Yo, I think I know why you picked it too, because Jumping Around, that Capital Punishment was like a perfect album. Production wise, everything was just there. The Lifestyles of the Poor and was the Poor and Dangerous, right? It was like experimenting with a certain beat. It was different. You know what I'm saying? With like production wise. So if you're not on that vibe at the time, the lyrics are still there, but the sound ain't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you definitely listen to Big L more than the beats that he on.
Right.
And then, you know what I'm saying, it's an older sound. You know what I'm saying? Like Capital Punishment, you know, it's like late 90s sound, where it's like, you know, Big L is the early 90s sound.
Right.
So
I got my last one. So dinner guests, 5 people dead or alive, who would you invite?
Dinner guests, 5 people dead or alive.
Yep. And they don't have to be famous too. It could be anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I definitely have Nikola Tesla, because he like just reading about him and like the way he approached certain things. I would just like to pick his brain just about abstract shit, because I do a lot of thinking about stuff, and he's definitely one of the greatest thinkers to ever live. Definitely Jesus, man. I would ask him if he had to do it all over again, would he? Just the way that stuff panned out, you know what I'm saying?
You talk about sacrifices, and the world still messed up.
And like, yo, like, you know, because I be thinking about it. It's like, yo, like when he did it, it's like it's this great triumph. He's like, it is finished, and he's gone. And it's like he's supposed to live happily ever after. You look at us, we still in the fucking ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Like, people
like, yo, you still robbing people? I could have been chilling.
Like, bro, I died for this, man. Why you still doing it? So, that definitely Jesus. Dead or alive. I definitely put my mama in there, man. Because you know, just like growing up, you know what I'm saying? Like I never met my dad, and I have 2 brothers, you know, so you know, growing up, it wasn't always we didn't really have the closest relationship. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when she got sick and, you know, her and my grandma moved in with her, we had the opportunity to do a lot of talking. And it really made it clear to me the reasons behind a lot of the things that she did. Because for a long time, I felt like she had beef with me or something. Like she really didn't rock with me like that. You know, she was just like, I felt like you could take it, you know, and I felt like you were the most capable. So I wanted to be hard, you know what I'm saying? So we ended up having a really good relationship in the end. And, you know, it would have been dope if she could have been here, you know, to just grow old and just chop it up with, man. I definitely miss her. So
yeah,
she'd be in there. Yeah, and appreciate it, man. And I need some people to lighten the mood, yeah. I need some people to lighten.
Yeah. Gotta get a comedian in there, man.
I was thinking, man, probably Red Fox, man.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there. Can't go wrong there.
Yeah, everybody laughing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then for the music, man, like I said, even though I rock with Michael Jackson more, it'd probably be Marvin, man. Like Marvin Gaye. Because just like what's going on, like, man, I can't listen to that without getting emotional, man. It's like he had a portal to the future, man, and he can just talk about stuff that's going on today. And then, you know, how he sounds is one-on-one, man. So that's my dinner party.
That's my first. When we talked about it before, that's my first answer is Marvin Gaye from the rip. from the Marvin Gaye and Kobe, the two staples, and the rest could depend on how I feel on the day. But those are the two for sure.
And R.I.P. Kobe, man. Like he
man.
You know, I definitely was. You know, I was rocking with Sacramento back then. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Webber fan. I'm a Webber guy. Hall of Fame Webb.
Hey man, he definitely deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. That's no question. But
somebody on here thought he didn't. Somebody not me or you, but somebody thought we had a little bet going for about 8 years, and I was told it was going to happen, and it came through this last weekend.
Finally.
See, Webb is one of those guys from the future, man. Like a lot of these guys, like the coaches just didn't know what to do with them because a lot of these coaches can't coach. They just like, yo, I got a system, you got to fit it, even if it's a round peg in a square hole. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So we're gonna wrap up. King James, you got some social media, Twitter, IG, or whatever you want shout out for whoever's listening.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? My Twitter is James Spit Flames. You know what I'm saying? Twitter.com. You know, I don't really tweet a lot. I'm trying to be better with engaging with folks and stuff. Like I said, it's just a time thing, man. You know, like I don't really have a lot of time to, you know, be on social media like that, man. I do want to shout out my homie Grips, man. You know, on Twitter, Grips247 gave me this hoodie, man. It's my favorite hoodie to wear. Hey, follow him on Twitter, man. He's an MC too, man. Like, yeah,
dope.
He definitely a dope spitter, and he produces too. I got a joint from him. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but we working on, you know. So, and shout out to my brother JR always, man, holding it down.
Sir. Solid.
His next album gonna be, I'm telling, I can't wait for y'all here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I know he got the joint. He got the joint with Elzai on there, so that's gonna be dope for sure.
Got some other drinks too.
Yeah, I already know. I already know. So
you got a joint with Elzai?
Oh yeah. yeah. Jay getting busy, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope, man.
But yeah, James, man, definitely a pleasure having you on.
Well, appreciate you. Man.
Appreciate. I know you check out the show some too, so definitely appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And pleasure working with you too. You know they'll hear that soon.
Likewise, definitely ready for that joint to drop, man.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate everybody joining us. You can find the Great Minds Podcast on IG at the Great Minds Podcast, Twitter at the Great P1. Salute to King James, North Carolina.
Stand up.
Great Minds Think Alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. Let's rock. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. 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 Derrick and Vaughn, oh boy, like Cam on a song. Culture safe now, thank God. The panic is gone. Time to heal from the pain. Take the bandages off. You gotta win, the stakes are high like a cannabis bomb. Okay, it's game time. Picture with the balls, that's a FaceTime. Great minds spreading faster than the rumor through the grapevine. Vaughn and Derrick, deserve the merit. All salute. It's more than just a podcast show. It's like a movie. Vaughn and Derrick, what up? Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast.